Hey, Gary here with you. In this video, we're going to use AI to write emails that get opened. We're going to pop over to Gemini real quick, and I have a prompt in here. I'm going to start off the conversation very simply. Give me 5 email subject line frameworks that get emails opened. Gemini is going to start thinking about it, and it's going to give you subject line frameworks. Now, the first one, personalized subject lines. These subject lines use the recipient's name or other personal information to grab their attention. This would be where when people enter their name in your squeeze page, they put their first name, last name. But this can be problematic because people could put in weird names or they could put in just nonsense and it could backfire on you. Now, there is a thing here. It says, or other personal information to grab their attention. That's the point. That's the key, right? To grab their attention. So call out to them as an audience or to a group of people, or use language that would talk to them as an individual to get them to open in your subject line. The next one is curiosity driven subject lines. These subject lines pique the recipient's interest by hinting at valuable information or creating a sense of mystery. Urgency and scarcity subject lines. These subject lines create a sense of urgency or scarcity, prompting recipients to open the email immediately. Urgent, right? Important notice. Your bill's overdue. A lot of this depends on who your target audience is and what you're trying to sell or what information you're trying to convey to them. And we're going to cover something later on here in this video that's even more important than all of these frameworks. And the fourth one being the benefit-oriented subject line. These subject lines highlight the benefits of opening the email, such as learning something new or saving money. And then you have the question subject line. These subject lines engage your recipient by asking a question that is relevant to these interests. Of course, you can also always just say, give me some examples. And then Gemini, in this case, is going to give you some examples. Here's where you can get in trouble, right? When you start entering the name, like I said, people can use fake information here, then they know that you're not being sincere, you're not being real. It's some automated email list junk, right? Because they put some funny name in here. So that's why I personally don't like the personalized subject lines, and I don't use people's first names in my email list emails. Now, when I reply to them and I'm having a one-on-one conversation after they reply back to me from the email that I send in my email list, and if they've included their first name and or their full name, or we're on to that level, right? Then I will actually use their name. Next up is the curiosity driven subject line. And this is really where you get into the idea and the focus of being a marketer. You're using curiosity and you're saying, you won't believe what happened next. The secret to a perfect and you enter desired outcome is revealed. I've got a surprise for you. Now, again, the email, once you write the email has to deliver the content of the email, right? You can't just say, open and get free money. Or you can, do some tricks like I've seen people do in the past where they say or use a subject line like, your commission is ready, right? Or we owe you money. Your money is waiting, stuff like that, you know. But you move through here and this is all you're doing. And you're thinking, okay, well, yeah, that's pretty simplistic. And, I already knew that. So the next thing that you need to understand, or the next thing in this conversation with AI, when you're talking about getting your emails open, what is the most important thing you can do to get your emails opened? While all the frameworks I mentioned are important, the single most important thing you can do to get your emails open is to ensure your subject line is relevant and valuable to the recipient. What does that mean in real language? Ensure your subject line is relevant and valuable to the recipient. What that means in real language is, and all this is great information, but this is the problem, right? When you have a conversation with AI versus actually testing this and doing it yourself, or working with someone like me who's been sending email now for years and working on the important factors or the important elements of getting your email open. In plain English, ensure your subject line is relevant and valuable to the recipient. This means that people are going to go looking for your email because they signed up to your list, or you are sending them email that they need, that they want. You have something that is valuable to the recipient of your email. Point blank. If your email has something valuable in it, your subject line could be blank because they're going to open it, which leads me to the next thing that you need to understand about email subject lines and the aspects or the elements of the email. Is the from more important than the subject line of an email to get opened? And I say that because if you just open up your email, what is the first thing that you see here? It is who the email is from. If the email is from Zoom or Kevin Rogers or System.io or Ryan at Digital Marketer or Philip from Lead Creator, right? I may be more interested in those emails than I may be from some name I don't recognize. So the from name is important. The from name is even more important than the subject line. Again, that is a great question. And the question was, is the from more important than the subject line of an email to get open? The from, your brand name or your name, right? This is a great question. It's not a simple either or situation. It's not a simple either or situation. The from line is arguably more important. Back up and just stop with me. Listen to what I'm saying. The from line is arguably more important than the subject line in the initial split-second decision of whether to even consider an email. Here's why. Recognition and trust. The from line is the first thing people see. If they recognize and trust the sender, the email has a much higher chance of being opened regardless of the subject line. Think about it. You're more likely to open an email from a friend, family member, or a trusted brand than from an unknown sender. Filtering and prioritization. People often scan their inbox for familiar senders to quickly prioritize what to read. If the from line is unrecognizable, the email might be deleted or marked as spam. All right. So think about that, right? The most important thing is the from line. This is establishing your brand. I like to say building brand believers, TM. Understand that the importance of your brand, the connection you make, and the fact that they're looking for the email that is from you because it has valuable information for them, they're going to open it. All right. So take a look at that and have this conversation with your AI of choice, and then continue this conversation. And I want you to do this. The reason I make these videos is so you can watch them and then you can have these conversations with your AI. What are the maximum characters a subject line should be to get the most opens? It's tricky to give an exact character count because different email clients and devices display subject lines differently. However, here's a breakdown based on research and best practices. And I include this in this video and in this chat for you to have with your AI of choice because it is different, right? If I'm opening my emails on my phone or on my email client, or I'm using a web-based browser, depending on the size of my browser, the size of my screen, I'm going to have more characters when I'm looking, right, at what's available here. But there are best practices, and that's what this is talking about. General recommendation or best practices, aim for under 50 characters. Prioritize the first few words, right? Why shorter is generally better, all right? However, there's some nuance, right? There's some key takeaways here, and understand that there are multiple guidelines, all right? So understand that all of those things matter when you are crafting your email. But understand in the aspect of getting your email opened, focus in on this question for me. Is the from more important than the subject line of an email to get opened? That is a great question. It's not a simple either or situation, but here's the breakdown. The from line is arguably more important than the subject line in the initial split-second decision of whether to consider an email. So do me a favor, click on the link in the description. Get started today by clicking that link in the description. Open up your free System.io account, start building your email list, and start creating newsletters. And yes, work on your subject line, but also focus in on your sender name, your brand name here, right? Focus in on building that, and then the subject lines will take care of themselves. Link in the description, choose your free plan, System.io, click here. All you need is an email address. You can get started for free, right? You can start sending emails with System.io for free today. You can start practicing your email subject lines. Focus on that from, right? That from line. Focus on the from. building brand believers. That's important, right? So next time you see an email from 30 Minute Marketing or Gary at 30 Minute Marketing, I know you're going to open it because the from line is from me to you, and it's a very, very valuable email. Hey, thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.